computer is picking up a strange signal. Here, sir, you better take a look at
Hello and welcome to episode 117 of Life Through a Prism with your host Rob Tierney. On this podcast we may look at topics related to LGBTQIA+, disability and pop culture. In this episode we're going to look at queer pop culture and ask the question, are queer shows being cancelled because of some nefarious reason, or is it just something very simple? The article comes from Geeks and Gamers, entitled Nearly Half of LGBT TV Characters Have Been Cancelled, and GLAAD is melting down over it. Written by Marvin Montanero, dated the 4th of December 2025. As entertainment outlets circulate GLAAD's latest annual Where Are We on TV report, for those who do not know what GLAAD is, it stands for Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. Okay, back to the article, whose headlines are highlighting one statistic above all. Nearly half of LGBT TV characters won't be returning next season. It's a striking figure, and GLAAD calls it a dangerous precedent. But when you step back from the emotional framing and look at the reality of the television landscape, a much simpler truth emerges. Shows that people don't watch get cancelled. No number of talking points can change the fundamentals of the marketplace. This isn't a commentary on identity, it's a commentary on interest. The report notes that although the total number of LGBT TV characters increased slightly this year, more than 200 roles will disappear due to cancellations, series endings, or limited run formats. Another 96 characters exist on shows that have not yet been renewed, leaving their future in limbo. GLAAD's message is clear. Hollywood needs to make these shows a priority. But that insistence sidesteps the actual problem. Networks don't cancel programming because the cast list is too diverse. They cancel programming because audiences aren't watching. From 911 Lone Star to Chaos, Clean Slate, Harlem, Heartstopper, and even prestige-focused offerings like Mid-Century Modern. These were expensive projects that needed viewers to justify their budgets. Many of them generated plenty of online conversation, but comparatively little viewership. And in an era where studios face tighter margins, rising production costs, and shareholder pressure, sentiment isn't enough. Engagement has to translate into actual numbers. It's also worth noting that many of the cancelled titles, including several GLAAD sites as essential, were designed for niche audiences from the outset. That's perfectly fine as a creative choice, but niche content is inherently vulnerable unless it hits beyond its core demographic. When it doesn't, the result is predictable. That isn't bias, it's business. GLAAD's report warns that shorter seasons and limited run formats reduce the long-term impact of LGBT TV characters and weaken the potential for ongoing storytelling. But again, this is a conversation about production strategy across the entire industry, not just representation-driven programming. Budgets are shrinking, renewals require high-performance thresholds, and streaming services aren't operating like bottomless ATMs anymore. Every show, whether it centers on detectives, dragons, or dating, has to survive the same evaluation. Does it bring in viewers? There is nothing dangerous or unjust about the expectation that TV shows need an audience. Representation alone does not guarantee success, nor should it function as a shield against market forces. If a character resonates, viewers will show up. If a show resonates, it gets renewed. That's a story as old as television itself. Hollywood has room for all kinds of voices, but a sustainable industry cannot operate on moral obligations alone. GLAAD's concerns overlook the fundamental dynamic that drives television. Networks create content people choose to watch and stop funding content they don't. Elevating representation is a worthwhile goal, but expecting financial support regardless of performance undermines the purpose of entertainment media entirely. At the end of the day, cancellations aren't caused by who characters are, they're caused by whether audiences care enough to tune in. So there's nothing nefarious, as we've just read, that people are not watching. We've gone for about 10 years now where so-called support for queer shows was the thing to do, and companies were happy to fly the pride flag, hoping it would bring in megabucks. And now what is happening? It's now not fashionable to do that, and when the rubber hits the road, namely their bank accounts, the sound left in the room is silence. What do you think? Should queer shows keep going when no one is watching, not even the people who they are being made for? Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Till next time, take care and bye for now.